Well, good morning, everybody. I've been sitting here going through some of my seeds to see which ones I want to plant from my winter garden. Because I've got beets, I've got broccoli, carrots, kale, which I've already got kale out there, so I probably won't... well, I might, but maybe not at first. I've got sugar snap peas that I can plant this time of year. I got more radishes, romaine lettuce. That'd be something good because I don't have any lettuce out there right now. And I've got red cabbage. And let's see what I've got over here on this stack. More kale. Turnips now. I may very well plant some turnips. More carrots. I don't need both of them right now. And this is cabbage, but I'm thinking that might be green cabbage. Parsnips. And I may have to move over here because I didn't notice it, but my battery is about dead on my camera. So I'm going to move real slow over here so I can plug it in. That way I won't lose y'all. But that's something right there I might like to plant. And that's some Table Queen winter squash. It looks like a green pumpkin. Now I might plant that. I'd like to see what that would do out here. Like I said, I've got peas. These are the sugar snap peas. Broccoli, which I had broccoli over there on the other side. Swiss chard. I may plant some more of that, I'm not sure. And then I've got leeks. American flag leek. Huh, that would be interesting. I might try that. Like I said, parsnips, cabbage, the turnips, beets, carrots, and kohlrabi, purple Vienna kohlrabi. I've never planted kohlrabi before. I might want to try that just to see. And of course, that's more kale. I definitely don't need to plant more broccoli or cauli. Broccoli or kale, because I've got plenty of that out there now. But this is a dwarf kale. And I think mine was a different type of kale. Beets, sugar snap peas, radishes, and romaine lettuce. I'd like to plant the lettuce, I think. My problem is I don't have that much space. And what I'm going to do is plant my seeds in the top of those buckets, I think, that I started. And as the seeds come up, hopefully by then I'll have more tubs or buckets fixed so I can transplant some of the plants over into the other tubs or buckets. So that'll give me room to have them all going. Plus, as things die out in the garden, I'll be able to transplant some of these as the seeds come up into those other buckets that or tubs that already had like tomato plants and peppers and things like that that I know aren't going to survive the cold temperature. We're supposed to get down to 31, I think, later in the week. If it actually does, that'll be one of the coldest nights we've had. So far, they've been predicting like 31 or 32, but it's not been getting quite that cool yet. So, yeah, I got to decide which seeds I want to put out because, like I said, I'm limited. I've got like 6, 7, maybe 8 buckets out there that I can plant seeds in right now. So I'm limited in the space, and I don't want to mix the seeds up in each one. I want to plant like one type of seed in each bucket and then mark them so I don't get them all mixed up. So, yeah, but there's a lot of things you can plant right now. So if you don't know, get online and do a search and just find out what your planting zone is. Like this one is zone 8 where I'm at. And find out which of these or what else you might be able to plant in December for your planting zone. But these are some of the ones that I came up with that I can plant here in zone 8. So we'll get out there in the yard in just a minute and we'll get busy. Well, it's about 73 degrees today. It was only in the 50s yesterday, but warmed up quite a bit today. So I'm going to try to get out here and plant some of my seeds in my buckets and see how many of them I can get done. While my battery was charging up, I went back there under the trees and I got me a bucket of the topsoil. You know, all that stuff that's broken down from the trees and the limbs, the leaves, all that kind of stuff that falls and rots on the ground. But first of all, well, yeah, I need to put the dirt in. I got to go around, put a little bit of this dirt in the very top because I want loose dirt to plant my seeds in. Now you can use potting mix if you want, and I'm not putting much, just enough to plant the seeds in the top because I've already got a lot of the topsoil and stuff like that in there. Go around here and get the rest of them. Yeah, I put the other ones back here behind my greenhouse so they would get a lot of sun during the morning. I figured that would help the seeds come up. You always want some loose soil to put seeds in. It helps them tremendously about coming up. Looks like I might have got just about enough to do all of these. And again, you remember me building these buckets the other day. I told you I was getting them ready to plant some winter crops in. And like I said, I'm going to start my seeds here. And then as the seeds come up, I can transplant some of them. You know, thin them out, that type of thing. Because you don't want too many in one pot. But yeah, this is all dirt that I got back there from the place I showed you that I got all my dirt and my leaves and my broken down wood bark and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, it's already broken down. Why not use it? And I think I'm going to put some sugar snap peas in this one. And that way they can run up the trellis. With a little trellis I got here. I figure it might work good for them since I've already got the trellis right there that my other peas and stuff ran up this summer. So let me go around and water just a little bit. Because I wanted it good and wet before I put my seeds in there. Because I'm not going to water it right after I put my seeds in. There'll be enough water. I mean, the soil will be wet enough for a few days anyway. And I think we're supposed to get some rain in a few days anyway, if they don't change it, which it's a slight chance, so we may not get any rain. Sorry about that. I forget where I have my camera pointing. But I've got it's about to turn my camera the wrong way. Well, no, I wasn't either. And this first one is my green cabbage that I'm going to plant. I mean, the seeds are kind of small, so I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them around. I'm sure when it rains this week, what I don't give them covered up, they'll get covered up. And like I said, they don't have to be deep. But I've got my little stake that says green cabbage. I'm going to put that right there. And then I've got, oh, my carrots, yeah. I wanted to try some carrots this year. And some people might prefer to do all this indoors and then put their plants outside. Well, I don't have room to do that. So when I start plants, they have to be outside. And carrot seeds, as you know, are real tiny. The wind would blow them away if you're not careful. And I know them, I'm probably sowing them kind of thick, but that's okay because, like I said, when they come up, if they're too thick, then I will transplant them. Sorry about that, I just walked off. But I had to move some of my stuff over there on the other side. And I've got a marker I'm going to put in here that says carrots, so I won't forget what I put there. And there's my Malabar spinach. It's looking good. It's trying to put out seeds, as little as it is. But I had to move some of that tomato plant because the tomato plant was just crowding it out. And here's where I'm going to plant my sugar snap peas. I tried planting some of these back in the summer and they didn't do too well because it was just too hot on them. So I decided I'd plant them now since they're considered to be one of your winter crops. And I'm just going to make a little hole here and there. And plant a couple. I don't need many. Let's see. I'm not sure if they grow as a vine or a bush. It doesn't say on the package. It just says they're sugar snap peas. So I'm going to go ahead and plant this pot full of them. And like I said, if they come up too thick, I'll just thin them out. But you can see they're pretty big seeds. They're actually the pea. So I'm going to put one pea in each hole. Yeah, unless I get another great big greenhouse, which I can't afford. I don't have anywhere to really start plants indoors because I got my greenhouse full now of stuff. I don't have any more room in there to put anything. You know, because it's just a little greenhouse, so. Well, two of them fell in there. I only want to put one. There, it goes over there. Put one right there. Because you only have to plant these like an inch deep. Snapdragon sugar peas, and I'm going to put my marker right there. Go back with my little stick. My real expensive gardening tool, my stick here. And just cover them up slightly. Because they are supposed to be planted about an inch deep. So I figure by the time I get them covered up, poke them down a little bit. That'll be about an inch. And my soil is already wet, so I don't have to worry about watering it. Now we can move over to the next one. Let's see what I want to plant in this one. kohlrabi. I think kohlrabi has won out on this one. I've never tried planting kohlrabi before, but I know a lot of gardeners that do, and they swear by it, so I got to try it this year. Just kind of loosen it up a little bit. And kohlrabi seeds are little. I mean, they're little tiny things. Can't really see them. See? They're little tiny seeds. They kind of stick to your hand. Yeah, I plan to add a few more totes over here on the other side of the garden in the sun before much longer. So hopefully by the time some of these come up, I'll have those other totes fixed and I'll be able to transplant them into the totes. Here, let's see, maybe I can do this and show you what I'm planting in the other one. See what I want to put in that one. Turnips, maybe. A rutabaga. It's a rutabaga. I don't know that I've ever planted rutabagas before either, but I love them, so I had to plant some. But I figure as warm as it'll be when the sun, you know, the sun first comes up in the morning, all these plants will, these seeds will get the morning sun. So I'm hoping that will help them come up. They'll be shaded by some of the hot sun in the afternoon, but, and right now I'm not sure that even matters. It's, you know, it's cooler days, so that's all I'm going to put in there. I don't want to put too many in there. I'll be pulling those up now. Move over to the next one. Here, let's do this one on the end. If my tripod was taller, I'd be able to show you better, but unfortunately it's not very tall, so. And y'all saw me build these buckets the other day, so you know what I got in them. And you know what? I've never tried these winter type squash before. So they came with all the other seeds that were supposed to be for winter planting. So I'm going to try them right here and find out what they do. Oops, just dropped the seed. I'll have squash coming up where I don't want it. Like I said, I'm going to put a few extra down in here because I can thin them out and hopefully have plants to put in some totes when they come up. And that should be enough to plant in there. You can see I spaced them out a little bit. And now I'm just going to take this stick and poke them down in the dirt a little bit. I'll try to. and cover them up. Because they need to be under there a little bit, not much. I don't want to completely get them down too far that they're not going to come up. I thought about doing raised beds, but I said, they cost a lot of money. And I said, once I put a raised bed down, it's going to be very hard to move it. And now let's get to this one. If I don't make y'all so dizzy, you stop watching. Oh, I got the romaine lettuce. Put that in this one. Rutabaga, kohlrabi, winter squash. Yeah, this is going to be the romaine lettuce. And they're little seeds too. They're kind of long. Just going to sprinkle them around in there. And again, I'm planting more than I know probably should go here, but I'll be pulling them out and putting them somewhere else, hopefully. But they all need sun, you know, to germinate. And now, I almost dropped the camera. I'm going to put the leek in this one. I had an uncle who has passed away now, but he was from Russia. And he came to the United States, became a citizen, and he was my uncle because he married my daddy's sister. He was the first one in the United States to plant leeks. And he had a vegetable farm. He grew vegetables and flowers. So, and see, they're not very big seed either. And again, I'm going to overplant because I can pull them out and put them somewhere else when they get big enough. But what I started to say, he was the first one in the United States to grow leeks on his farm for market. But he grew all kind of vegetables. He had dairy cows. He grew flowers. He grew gladiolas mostly for market. So when I was a kid, when I went to see my uncle, or when I went to see him, if the flowers were blooming, he'd let me go out there and pick all I wanted. I could go out there and cut all the flowers I wanted to cut. And I think I'm going to put the red cabbage in this one. This kind of cabbage. Red acre cabbage. Now, I've never grown this type of cabbage before either, so I'm not sure how it's going to do. see, I decided to plant some red cabbage in this one, I think. Some of that. And as I said, I plant a little bit more than what I thought, because, or what you would normally do, because that's going to be my plants that I'm going to transplant to other places too. Now, let's see. I'm going to plant kohlrabi. I just had my seed here a minute ago. Here it is. And those seeds are not very big either. And as small as those seeds are, I'm not going to stir that up any, I don't think. And this one is rutabaga. Where's my rutabaga seed? Here it is. See? Rutabaga. I love rutabagas. I grew up eating them, but I never have planted them before. And they're little seeds too. And like I said, it's supposed to rain a couple of days, so they'll get soaked in good. I don't have to stir those around anymore, because when it rains, it'll wash the dirt on top of the seed. But yeah, I realized that these sugar snap peas are climbing. So it's a good thing I put them here, because I wasn't sure they will climb up this trellis here. So they'll have plenty of room to grow. And as some of them come up in that big pot, I can transplant them over here into my grow bag that I made out of my potting soil bag. And I can even put some over here where I had my other stuff that's died off now. So I have plenty of room for my sugar snap peas. I wanted to give you an update on my kale, or my perpetual spinach, that I've got growing over here. See, it was looking really good. And you know, I had put a few plants in there, and then I had put seeds in. This is the only one that doesn't look like it's going to make it, but the stem of it is still down in there, so it can come back. That one down there's looking good. That one's looking good. Now it looks like I got seeds coming up too. That one's looking pretty good. And that one's looking good. And look at all the seeds that I've got coming up. So I'll be able to transplant some of these into these other buckets, unless those seeds come up. And there's my little buddy. There's my little buddy. Yeah, he came to see me again today. He has to come pay a visit once in a while. Sometimes he doesn't come every day, but a lot of times he does. Yeah, a lot of times he comes every day. He's a sweetheart. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a healthy cat. I think all the neighbors feed him. Yeah, I think all the neighbors feed you, don't they? You coming? Huh? Are you coming with me to go check on the other pots? He says, I think I'll sit there. We'll let him sit there for a while. Oh, look at there. My clematis is blooming again. It likes these colder days, and that one's just opened. It's beautiful. But it was just too hot on it this summer. That 105 and 110 degree temperatures just... Clematis likes the heat, but they didn't like it that hot. So hopefully this summer they'll do a lot better. But let's go and check on my seed out here. They get more sun out here than the other pot does. That other bucket planter. I mean, look at all that seed. I'm going to be pulling out plants because that's too many to go in this one bucket. Over here too, look at the seeds coming up. And down there I got seeds coming up. And in there I got seeds coming up. And that's mostly in the shade. The other buckets are shading it out, but those seeds are coming up, look. So, and there, I have no problem with seeds coming up, that's for sure. And right there too, look at all those seeds come up. And over there. And with this rain we're fixing to get, I'll be pulling out plants. Look at that. It's pretty thick in there. I'm going to have to pretty soon get some of this out of here. Give it another day or so. Maybe wait till after it rains on it. Let it get another spurt of growth, and then I will. And see there? And you remember I only dug that one little hole and threw a few little seed in there, and look at all that. So I'm not going to need to put out much more of that kale seed. That's for perpetual spinach. I think I'll have enough. My onions are still doing good. I've been pulling them out since I realized that they were just like the green onions. They're not the ones that bulb up, which they must have got them mixed up in the package. There he goes. He had to come with me. And you can see how I did my arch. I mean, the other film was all in the dark because I wanted it to light up and let you see it real good. But you can see it here now. The lights are just coming on to where you can see them good. But yeah, those trees are tomato cages. Just flipped over and see, I've got some of the perpetual spinach and broccoli or Brussels sprouts and other stuff growing in these little pots here. I can replant something there for right now. I just don't know what yet. I haven't decided. And there's my little other tree that's nothing but a tomato cage. And my wishing well out there. And my candy cane, it's got a solar light on it. So it's still too light out for the solar light to kick in. But it'll come on as soon as it gets dark. And my Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus, the solar lights there haven't come on yet because it's not dark. But that was a project I did with the old door out of the shed. And my mums are doing good. Yeah, and I've got a loaner car from Nissan. Mine's in the shop. A $1,500 bill. And the insurance company, after taking my deductible of $500, only wants to pay $373 toward the bill. So I'm going to be stuck with the rest of it, I guess. And there's my deer family. They show up a little bit better in detail, that is, you know, when it's not real dark. And you can see my mums out here are blooming. And I stuck a mum in the pig. It looks like it's going to live. And I got marigolds in the other one over there. Where you going, buddy? Buddy, where you going? He's a pretty kitty. You're a pretty kitty. Mums there are doing good. They just rebloomed, so they have to wait till it gets ready to bloom again, I guess, for it to look good. And there's my other tree that's nothing but a tomato cage turned upside down. Wired at the top with the star on it, wrapped in garland and wrapped in lights. And there's my wreath in the window that's got a poinsettia instead of a bow. I think it turned out real good, because the poinsettia, the lights, and the garland all came from Walmart. The base of the wreath came from Dollar Tree. And that garland down there, I think that came from Dollar Tree as well. I already had the lights that I put on it. But I think it turned out real good. I need to put up my bows and my garland on my porch railing up here. I just haven't had time to do it. But I usually string garland all down the side here, across the top and back that way. And then I have big red bows, you know, that I put one here, and I think I put one on the other side that's facing this way, right up there at the top of the poinsettias. And it usually looks pretty good. Like I said, I've been so busy doing other stuff, I haven't had a chance to get it all up. It usually takes me days to get all my decorations up. So I haven't drug out the bows and the garland yet to put up there. But I am getting in the Christmas spirit, that's for sure. And there was my new mower. After using it twice, it wouldn't start. So I contacted Pulsar, who's the company that sells this. And they told me to fill the gas tank full of dirt, which I did. And then take a picture of it, send it to them, and they were going to ship me a new mower. I just hope the next one is better than this one. I mean, a brand new mower, and after using it twice, you can't even get it started. I mean, that's ridiculous. Well, it never did run right. I mean, it ran like it was wanting to give gas, and then sometimes it would slow down like it wasn't getting gas. So I figured something was wrong with it. But yeah, but that last time I tried to start it the other day just to cut down some of the straggly weeds for Christmas, it wouldn't start. I pulled and pulled and pulled. I thought I was going to pull my arm off, and I could not get this thing started. So it's just sitting there. I'm waiting to get the other mower. I got an email from them, and they said they had it ready to be shipped, so I should get it any time. But look at the mums that I'm rooting right there. They're blooming. They all are. I mean, all of them that I stuck down to root are blooming. Or they're putting out buds to bloom. Like that. I got to pull up some of the weeds that's coming up in it. But the mum itself is alive. And all that mixed salad green is coming back to life. And that is too. My radishes. You know, they're bulbing up. I probably should pull some more of them. Pull some more of them and replant some. Reminds me, I didn't replant any. And see there? And I'm always harvesting it. So You can see all the places where it's broke off. That's where I've actually harvested leaves to cook. Because I harvest my baby leaves. You know, I don't let it get real big. Because I find if it gets too big, it gets tough. And I don't like it tough. So. But you can see my Brussels sprouts. And you can tell, I mean, I've been harvesting leaves off of those. I mean, look at all the sticks sticking out. That's where I've broken leaves off to cook the leaves. And that one's actually trying to head up some. Because like I said, I don't let them get real big, and I don't wait till they head up. I harvest the leaves and cook them. Like some bugs are trying to eat dinner on those. But they're doing pretty good, as well as can be expected since the temperatures cooled off. And like I said, I harvest leaves constantly off of them, or they would be a lot bigger than what they are. So, and my garlic is coming up. Got garlic here. Got garlic down there and at the bottom. Got garlic up here. So garlic is something you can plant. Find you a spot to put it in and just put it in the ground. Yeah, I usually have more stuff up for Christmas, but I said I think I had enough. I mean, I've been working so hard with the garden stuff, and I mean, my rose bushes are looking good. I mean, some of them are dying back a little bit, you know, the leaves, because of the crazy weather we've been having. And there's my little reef up there. I got a pot of poinsettias sitting on the table. And I mixed them up. I had a few and I bought a few and just kind of mixed them up in the colors. I said it doesn't matter. Peppermint is still loving this weather. We'll take a look at the rose bushes out here. We haven't checked on those in a while. I did water them the other day. Well, I put the compost tea on them is what I watered them with. So actually I fertilized them. There's the one in the pot. Leaves don't look too good on it, but it's still putting out new leaves. And the crepe myrtle is dying back, which all of them are doing that right now. It'll come back in the spring. But look at that rose bush. It's growing. Putting out new leaves. I've seen one or two of them that were putting out actual little rosebud. And that one looks good. It's just little, but it won't be little long. Let's see, as little as that one is, it was putting out roses. And that one. There's a rosebud right there. As little as it is, it's putting out roses. And this one, I don't know. I've watered it good, but I don't know why the leaves are turning yellow. And that one. I mean, for the most part, they're looking pretty good to be so little. And that one right there. And all of those I've got in the greenhouse are still looking good. They're growing and putting out new leaves. And so in the spring, I'll have a bunch of new rose bushes. I think I added a couple more of the yellow roses in there. And then, of course, I had all the... Let's see. Don't like this door because it's a zipper. But you can see in there, they're still living and putting out leaves. Got a couple of tomato bushes in here. I don't know if they'll survive, but got them in there anyway. Let's see how this looks. See all those rose bushes down in there? They're looking good. It's like every one of them has got leaves on them, new leaves. Oh, mind me with the lid here and the camera. And see all of them down in there. They're doing good. I'm going to have a bunch of new rose bushes come spring. So, and I got my aloe vera in here. I got a couple of them in here. I don't know why that one is looking that way. It might rather be out in the cold than in here. I got that one. That all come from the mother one. But this was another one that I put in here. That's the yellow rose, and that's another yellow rose right here that I just put in. But it looks like it's trying to put out leaves. So we'll see what happens come springtime. I mean, I'm not counting on all of them surviving. But if it did like last year, I'll have a bunch of them that'll survive and have some good roots on them. So we'll see. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I love to see all the bright lights. Well, with that, I am gonna end the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. So I'll keep doing this and giving y'all information on how to grow a garden in the desert. That's where I'm at right now, is in the desert. On a hill, nothing but rocks. Have very little greenery, except this time of year when the grass and the weeds are green. Other than that, I have to plant everything in a pot and keep it watered. So, I'm going to wish y'all a blessed evening and see you on the next one.